Yes, sir. As you may be aware, the newly appointed judge, held a status hearing today on the Young Thug YSL Rico case. Picked up by all of the media outlets. And today we want to go ahead and review it with you and see what you think. If you haven't seen it yet, you know, all of the clips will make its way here to social media soon. But before it does, you can have the opportunity to check it out for yourself and see exactly what took place in the courtroom. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started on that.
Feel better. You might be sick as well, I think. Okay. Good morning. And we have one additional paralegal, not paralegal, intern, here this morning, if necessary, we'll introduce you to him. Okay, that sounds fine. All right, so a couple of things that we need to try to figure out from the outset. What is pending that I need to make a ruling on, and what our schedule is going to be like moving forward. I know there are already a couple of weeks that the jury has been sort of told you'll be excused for this week, so I will honor.
I guess it's normal, but I heard her say she needs to be briefed on what it is she needs to be ruling on, so I'm sure this happens in every case, but of course, it probably comes as a shock to you to hear that she doesn't even know what it is she's going to be ruling on today. Somebody chime in and tell us, how normal is that?
But I need for us to try to be efficient with the jury's time. So whatever we all need to get sorted out in the interim before we bring them back, as much as we can do, I'd like to do that so that we can minimize the times when they're here, but we have to send them to the jury room to figure out things that we could have figured out before. And I know sometimes that is going to be unavoidable, but to the extent we can avoid it, I'd like for us to talk to each other beforehand, give each other a heads up about what is going to be coming in or what we think might be an issue, and deal with it without wasting the jury's time, basically. So Mr. Steele, on behalf of Mr. Williams, sent me yesterday a list of what he believes to be pending motions that still need a ruling.
Get online in minutes. Web.com's AI Builder makes it easy. Simply tell us some info about your brand, and in a minute, the AI Builder designs an eye-catching website to
and I think I have one that I know of from Mr. Huey, and I'm just going to kind of hear from each party as to what, as the state as well, as to what y'all believe is pending that we need to get heard. And since I've already got Mr. Williams' motions written down, I'm just going to make sure, Mr. Steele, that I've got all of the ones that you believe to be pending. So I saw in your email a July 8th and a July 9th motion to recuse both Judge Glanville and Judge Krause, which I'm obviously, we're not going to do anything substantive here today. I'm just going to make sure I know what y'all believe to be pending. A July 10th motion entitled for a fair trial that is essentially to find out about whether there have been any other ex partes. A July 1st motion that's kind of a proffer about something that happened with a jail call, evidence that's already been taken care of. And I mean, I'll look back into that. But a July 18th motion to disqualify two of the prosecutors. a July 10th motion asking, I guess, prospectively for a fresh look maybe at 24-8-801. And then you had also provided an amended witness list and a notice of filing. Are there any other pending motions for Mr. Williams that I didn't include?
It's not a motion that filed. May I address that just for your edification?
Sure.
Okay.
And are you going to file it? You're just giving me a preview, or?
I could file it.
Okay.
I'll do whatever the honorable court desires. So I just want to bring to the court's attention to be,
I feel
fair
like
to
she's
Okay.
being friendly now, but that's going to change.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes. And it may be easiest to just hand it to Ms. Pursfield. And y'all, it's on my mind right now. Before we all leave here today, I want to make sure that my staff has cell numbers for everybody. Okay. All right.
So I've handed this honorable court's co-worker and the state two cases, PROPST versus Morgan, MORGAN, and it's 288 Georgia, 862, 708 Southeast 2D, 211. And if you look at page 2 of the copy of the case that I've handed to this honorable court and the state, on the left-hand side, on the bottom last paragraph, our highest court explained that another line of appellate decisions holds that if a party files a motion to recuse a trial judge and the motion is denied, but it is later determined that the judge should have been disqualified to act in the case, all proceedings after the filing of the motion to recuse are invalid and have no effect. And the reason I raise that is, Your Honor may be aware but may not be, the Honorable Douglas Weinstein filed an initial motion to recuse Judge Glanville. He did that on June 12th of 2024 in the afternoon hours. Judge Glanville initially he stopped proceedings and he denied that motion without referring it to another judge, and he made some findings of why he's denying it. On behalf of Mr. Williams, the Honorable, yes.
Was there a written order?
He did file a written order
June the 14th.
Okay.
2 days later.
All right.
Did you see
That
this
was the
coming? Did you
Honorable
see the
Okay.
judge being removed from
The
this
Honorable
case?
Keith Adams and I, on behalf of Mr. Williams, then filed a motion to recuse, but we didn't file ours until June 17th. It's Monday, June 17th.
Okay.
But the way I understand the case law is that once Attorney Weinstein filed that motion, which the Honorable Judge Krause eventually
Empower is a lender.
granted.
Okay.
Judge Krause, in a written order dated, I'm going to tell you, July 15, 2024, granted Mr. Williams as well as Mr. Kendrick. Mr. Weinstein represents Mr. Kendrick, both of the motions. So the way I understand the case law is everything that happened after the filing by Mr. Weinstein on June 12, 2024 is invalid.
Okay. So if you would do me a favor and put that in writing and file it as a motion, and then I will add that to our pending list.
Yes.
And I appreciate you letting me know. I don't want to get into substantive argument about anything today because we don't have the parties themselves here. This is basically just a sort of status. So if you will file something to that effect, then I'll have that added to the list. But I appreciate that.
I'll file
Thank you.
today. Can I add one other thing just for your knowledge? But
Sure.
if it's something that's more than a status, then I will withdraw it.
Yeah, and I mean, you can tell me, but I'm, not going to consider it. We're not going to argue it. But yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
Understood. I just want you to know that there was a witness testimony.
All right. So based on what you've seen and what you hear, do you think that this judge is going to be a pushover? Is this somebody who's going to be able to handle this case? Do you think that this case is going to go all the way? You think it's going to be a mistrial? We would love to hear your comments. Let us know what you think.